My name is Jill, and I'm talking to humanity's shepherds, sheepdogs, and big wave surfers. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll be getting to that eventually, but today I want to talk about this idea of just walk away as a philosophy. What do I mean by that? Ready to go look around? What do I mean by the just walk away philosophy? Well, I define it as to be agile and resilient in self and systems of living as you manage and cope with economic, environmental, and national crises as we face the end of this world as we know it. There is loss, there is letting go, there is moving towards, there is giving up, there is getting a second chance. But sometimes there is a moment everything is on the line. Do you stay or do you go? No time to think, only act. No time to consider, only decide. No time, just a split second. Will you stay or go? Can you just walk away or will you decide to stay? That's the philosophy I want to share with those who still live in the first world. While we have a choice, a country to call home, and a home we can call our own. Could you just walk away? Would you welcome others in to stay? The bottom line to all of this isn't about proving or trying to convince you about what's going to happen, but about really shifting our mindset about what will, at least in some way, probably happen. And I think it'll be hardest for those of us who live in a first world country, whatever that means anymore, to make the shift about this idea that there could come a moment in time where you have to just walk away. But it's really so much bigger than that. It's not about fear-mongering, about scary disasters or the end of the world, which you know I talked about in the last video. It's really about the shift in terms of how to really truly be agile and resilient in our self and in our systems of living. And that doesn't mean there's a hard and fast way to be in this world. It doesn't mean there's just one road to travel. I like to call mine survival road, but really it doesn't matter. There's just two ways that I see this moving forward. I see those of us who will walk away and those of us who will welcome in. And it isn't about being right or wrong. It's not even a guarantee that some version of that will come forward. But I can't think of a more powerful moment in time in which we have the choice to decide who we want to be in any kind of moment as our future unfolds in front of us with a lot of uncertainty and instability. So much of the fear headlines and the fear-mongering and this desperate need to know and this desperate need to be right about, well, this is the way the future is going to go, and this is what you should do, and this is how you should prepare, and this is how you should shelter, and this is what you should buy. None of that really means anything, because the only thing we all, I think, can say for certain, based on past experience and watching what's happening to people in other countries, is that uncertainty, chaos, and instability are pretty much a guaranteed part of most of us as the future unfolds. And the best thing I can think of is not to try and control the outcome or defend against what I'm afraid that's going to happen, but to become as agile and resilient as I can be no matter what happens. So none of this is about being afraid. None of this is about pushing some kind of agenda that I think everybody should live in a mobile way. Not even a little tiny bit. I have a personal preference for a nomadic lifestyle, but I also have a deep value and appreciation for an anchor, home base, stationary kind of lifestyle. I think you need both. You know, I'm a big fan of nomad and rural land combination working together. And so that's really what I'm talking about with this just walk away and welcome in philosophy. It isn't about trying to predict the future. It's just about becoming who we need to be no matter what the future presents in front of us. And who we choose to be Well, that's what we're talking about over on the other channel when I talk about getting primal. Here, though, I really just want to start exploring some of these systems of living beyond a bug-out bag, beyond about trying to live an adventure, travel, nomadic lifestyle, but about getting pretty hardcore and practical in terms of what would it really mean to just walk away. And I think the most powerful place that I want to start with you right here and right now is to ask yourself that question. Would you be willing to just walk away? If circumstances dictated, would you be willing in a split second to make that decision? Without any kind of preparation, to just stand up, open the door, and walk away? Could you do it? Why do you think you could do it? Do you have evidence of doing it? Have you ever done it before? It's actually much harder than you think. I've had a couple of experiences with that actually happening. And the first time, or the most significant, was the first time when I was in California. The mountain went on fire and I panicked and I just ran out and I did all kinds of things wrong. And I was very lucky that the consequences were minimal compared to the second time when I made much better and more efficient choices. So it's hard to know what will happen unless you practice, but what we're going to do here and now is just sort of get ourselves geared up. The first step in this philosophy is, who do you think you would be? That someone that will just walk away, somebody who will welcome in, or for the majority of everybody, I don't want to deal with it, just talk to the hand. I can't really help you guys. I can't really help anybody. All I can do is share what I've really learned over my lifetime of really being in the walk away category, but being welcomed in by others. So with that, we're going to wind it up. We're going to take a deep breath. We are going to see you next time. But until then, I hope you stay put before we have to walk away.